Hello, welcome and thank you for joining me for my movie review of Spider-Man 3. The movie stars Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, Thomas Hayden Church, James Franco and Topher Grace. Following the events of Spider-Man 2, Peter Parker has become a cultural phenomenon as Spider-Man, while MJ continues her Broadway career. Harry Osborn still seeks vengeance for his father's death. An escaped convict, Flint Marko, falls into a particle accelerator and becomes the Sandman, while an extraterrestrial symbiote crashes to Earth and bonds with Peter, influencing his behaviour for the worse. The third movie in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man franchise introduces us to three villains with backstories and motives that we need to explore, making the movie suffer from being overstuffed. The origins of the Venom symbiote was completely glossed over, but what I was impressed with was the Sandman origin. In the Birth of the Sandman scene there is no dialogue and only music, but it still conveys that amount of emotion, and it really is an iconic scene. The special effects as well is greatly improved from the other two movies, making the audience go along with Spider-Man in the action sequences as he dodges attacks acrobatically from the Green Goblin, James Franco. The music as well is really good, it's emotional and gripping. A good example of this is when Peter Parker first gets the Venom symbiote on his body and he wakes up to find the black suit Spider-Man, in all his glory. Here it's almost like a horror movie, which isn't surprising considering the director. He also directed Evil Dead, which is a surprisingly great horror movie. J.K. Simmons as well is great as J. Jonah Jameson. He is the character. He is an example of how people, should act to their characters. I don't see J.K. Simmons in that role. I see J. Jonah Jameson just like in the comics and just like in the cartoon series as well. It's a great bit of acting from him, and his deadpan delivery is it's really hilarious. Now we come to the things in the movie that I truly think they got wrong. First being the story. As I've said before, the use of three villains in this picture, it greatly overstuffs the movie, and it makes it feel like that the audience is juggling quite a bit. I feel like they could have left the Sandman out for a different movie, but then we wouldn't have got the iconic Sandman origin. I think they could have stretched the rivalry between the Green Goblin and Spider-Man all the way through the movie, and having the symbiote come to Earth at the end of Spider-Man 3 to tease another movie, perhaps. Not to cram it all into this one movie, it is too much. Topher Grace is horribly miscast as Eddie Brock, and he makes him sound like a whiny little child instead of an actual rival to Peter Parker. And they give a great disservice to the character of Gwen Stacy. At first though, it's quite good, because they have her in Peter's classroom answering a very scientific question. Now there was kind of a spark of, oh okay, they're having a rivalry with MJ, but no, Gwen Stacy becomes just another damsel for Peter Parker to rescue, and it's great to service. Gwen Stacy is very useful in situations. She's very smart, and for her just to be used as a damsel is very poor, to say the least. I just think the movie wasn't written as well as it should have been. I think they should have taken more time to iron out the wrinkles and to maybe get rid of a villain. And Tobey Maguire's performance, though passable and quite good for most of it, verges on awkward at times, especially when he's dancing at the jazz club and walking down the street, getting that suit and trying to rock out to no music. So it's very weird, very cringy, and not what we see in Peter Parker. In conclusion, the movie goes for a more action and special effects heavy sequel instead of providing us with something deep and meaningful. However, it does have its very good parts. I'd say it's a disappointing third act to this Spider-Man franchise, but it's still rewatchable. For a better and more comic accurate presentation of Venom though, I suggest that you watch the Venom movie starring Tom Hardy. It's in theatres now, so go watch it for a really wild ride. Thank you for joining me for this week's movie review, and stay tuned for more from inside the movie world.